Oh, boy. One of the most dreaded lives in my brief career of doing this. The amount of doomsdayers among us, the comments are appalling. And I'm going to have to go back and take some screenshots for some of you because I don't want to see a lot of you around here come playoff time, I have to say. For those of you bailing on the team after a little 4-game losing streak, it's awful. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is completely unacceptable, completely disgusting. The fashion in which your New Jersey Devils lost this game tonight, it's gross. It's absolutely gross. But the way some of you are talking and some of the comments, shame on you guys. All it takes is a little 4-game losing streak for you guys to bail. Jump off the wagon. We don't want you. Nice to know you. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button. Smash the like. Share the friend. Thank you very much. And what a travesty we witnessed in San Jose tonight. Win or lose, we booze. I'm going to need a lot of it. I'm going to probably finish this off here. I'm going with the Dirty Devil vodka, the official vodka of the great Martinbrodeurvodka. And oh my God, this one is painful on so many levels. But cheers to all my Devils fans, especially cheers to those of you that aren't jumping off the ledge. It looks like most of you are. I was looking, I couldn't even keep up with the amount of comments. They were coming in fast and furious. The Doomers are out in full force. For those of you that are on the front lines with me, I salute you. We got a lot of them in here tonight. And wow. All I'm going to say is wow. A game they desperately needed to win, knowing the stakes, a 3-game slide with a 4th game on the horizon. Give up the first goal in true New Jersey Devils fashion, claw back to tie at 1-1, go down again 2-1. Paulie Cotter with that beautiful move. Paulie Cotter, what a finisher. Ties it up at 2. It looks like we're going to go to overtime. A failed clearing attempt by Siegenthaler because of a referee. This is a new way the refs have screwed us this year. We've seen, bad penalty calls like the major on Timo in Carolina when Nate just dove on the ice like he was shot by a 9mm. Apparently, he's been doing that more often since then. Since he was given that Academy Award for Best Leading Actor in a hockey game, it seems like he's been doing that more recently. I've seen a couple other clips of him doing the exact same thing in games after that Devils game. But that was one of the ways the refs screwed us. Then we've seen the goals waved off for goaltender interference. That did not happen. And now we have the ref physically preventing a puck from getting cleared to keep it in to lead to a goal. I will say, terrible goal by Markstrom, but it never gets to that point if that ref's not in the way. Completely disastrous. When it rains, it pours, as they say, and it's definitely pouring right now on your New Jersey Devils, and buckle up. Put on your ponchos, kids. It's fucking pouring. It is pouring. Woosah. Cheers to the level-headed few that are in here. I just want to pull up a couple things, but wow. This is grotesque. I will say. A grotesque, disgusting display of hockey. How many hits did they end up crediting Cotter with? 5. Wow. Just look at quick game stats. Devils 30 shots on goal. Sharks 24. Devils getting the better of the faceoffs, 57.1 to 42.9. Devils 1 for 2 on the power play. A small silver lining amidst a shitstorm. 21 hits for the Devils, 16 for the Sharks. 12 block shots for the Devils, 16 for the Sharks. 10 giveaways for the Devils, 11 for the Sharks. 3 takeaways for the Devils, 1 for the Sharks. And the most painful loss of the season, obviously. Hands down the most painful loss of the season, both in the fact that it registered now as the 4th consecutive loss, then obviously the fashion in which they lose, where we're, 30 seconds or whatever it was, away from the overtime session, securing a point with the chance to get 2. And it all just falls apart. Like I said, when it rains, it pours. It is pouring on us right now, and it's gross. I don't, there is no, one short answer to fix the shitstorm. Yeah, 25 seconds left. Wow. I will say on the 4-game losing streak, 2 of the teams are very good teams. Carolina and Los Angeles are both very good teams. With that being said, the refs played a huge part in both of those games. Obviously, the major on Timo in the Carolina game, Natchez with the Academy Award, waving off the Timo goal for Nason's goaltender interference, which was complete bullshit in the Hurricanes game. And then you sprinkle in 2 other games here, and here we are. Here we are, a 4-game losing streak. I am not panicking yet. I am, not too far from it, but I do believe this is a very good team still, guys. These things happen. Tonight was one we desperately wanted to win, obviously, playing one of the worst teams in the league. But as I've said millions of times now on this channel, even bad teams can win games. Period. Bad teams can win games, and the Sharks are probably one of the better bad teams I've seen in a while. They have weapons. They have talent. Askarov and net. Months ago, they were saying it was Askarov. Now everyone's saying Askarov. I don't know how you say this guy's name. Either way, I wanted to get him. I wish we were in on him. He would have been a great successor to Jacob Markstrom. But either way, he had a solid game in net, and we got caught a couple times, and it is what it is. It is absolutely atrocious to lose this game. And as a result, the Doomers are out in full force. I will be writing down names or recording this because I do not want some of you fair weather bozos to be rejoicing in April and May, and God forbid June. If any of you people writing this craziness resurface during the good times, if you're not here for the bad times, we don't want you here for the good times. Everyone was all, it was all shits and giggles when we were doing good, and now, they hit the skid, and now everybody just, the lunacy, the absolute group lunacy is out in full force. And I should have expected it. I mean, I obviously knew it was coming, but it's actually worse than I thought, actually. It's to a whole new level. The Doomers are out in full force, and I will engage. I am preparing to engage in battle, and the chat is just flying with Doomers. We'll just start off here at my man Traveling Devil. Palat miss was the biggest flub of the season so far. I agree. I hate to single out a guy. A lot of things went into this loss. They earned this loss as a team. I will say if I had to pick one guy, I'm going to say this loss is on Palat. You got to bury that there. Got to bury it. You have the whole net, and he shoots it cross crease right into Askarov. I understand it was in his feet. It wasn't the easiest play, but listen, man, you're making 6 schmilly. Production for him is obviously not where anyone wants it to be, but you bury one there and get us this win and snap the 3-game losing streak. Things like that go a long way. Shoots it right into Askarov, and that's it. That, to me, that was the way the game was lost. That has to be buried. I believe if Paulie was in that same scenario right there, or probably many other guys, they're burying that. The whole net was there, and he shoots it across right into him. Painful. Completely painful. Keeping up with the Devils' worst L of the season. I 100% agree. Gentlemen, what's going on? Maybe the boys are going through a bit of a reset. They did well to get where they are in the standings, going through a skid now to amp it back up again and reach another level. I think that's being optimistic. I mean, fair enough, but what the hell happened during the holiday break? It is the greatest mystery on the season. What exactly transpired on December 24th, 25th, and 26th that led to this atrocious performance coming out of the break? I mean, they won the first one at home against the Canes, but ever since then, they went to Carolina, lost the second one of the back-to-back, and they've been in free fall. I don't have the answer, and again, I do think, not to make excuses, but I do believe the refs really screwed us in 2 of those games. That Timo call in the Carolina game is what set this whole thing in motion. That ended up being the first loss. And then waving off a Timo goal for goaltender interference on Stefan Nason, where he barely made contact with Kemper and was bumped by the defenseman right before. I mean, we can't catch a break. And then you saw it tonight. Siegenthaler goes to clear, it hits the ref, and right away, I felt the sinking stomach in my feeling. As soon as it hit the ref, I said, oh no. I said, oh my God, it hit the ref. This is like one of those Final Destination things where I saw it happening. And sure enough, they get the goal. John Woodson, fourth line looked great without Big Mac tonight. Most consistent line we had. The fourth line looked good. I'll agree. But in the end, who cares? We lost. Terrible. John, Danico sucks. Sorry to say. He's such a downer, and God forbid there's a defensive breakdown. John, I have to agree. I have to disagree wholeheartedly. Dano is the definition of a massive fan. Mr. Devil. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he wants the team to win as much or more than all of us here. He just gets frustrated seeing, sloppy play and nonsense, and he voices his opinion sometimes. It is what it is, but I love Dano, and I always will. SST in 22-23 playoffs, Meyer miss was even worse in Game 5, and because of that miss, Devils played golf earlier than could have. Man, I mean, come on, SST. Jim Bean, absolutely. Don't you dare slander Mr. Devil. John Woodson. C gets ragdolled out there. Dude is always getting leveled. Gets back up, not even a little pissed off. It is puzzling and alarming to me. I will say this on your point, Woodson. As a professional athlete, I mean, shit, I played, not high level, but as a kid, I played all kinds of sports, even sports that you're not supposed to have contact. And when you get hit or bumped or whatever it is in some way, I would be furious and want to fight people as a kid. I don't understand how you could play professional hockey, a very physical sport. And when shit like that happens, it does not make you see red and enraged. I agree. When I don't remember what period it was in, either second or third. Siegenthaler got absolutely dumped. And like you said, he gets up and there's nothing happened. How is that even possible? Forget as a professional athlete, as a human being. If I'm in the grocery store going down the produce aisle and somehow someone crushes me with a cart and I end up on my back, I'm going to get up furious. I just can't for the life of me comprehend how these guys don't want to smash people. It's very foreign to me, and I have no answer for it. I don't know what it is. It's wild. Jim Bean says he reacts like all of us every time there's a boneheaded play made. Keeping up with the Devils. Yeah, I'm glad the stretch is happening now instead of at the 70-75 game mark. Jay Snow says Siegs is so soft. That is true. John Fay, agree at kill for my honor. Better to slump now than near the end of the season when it matters most. John Woodson, trade Siegs now while Kova is making him look half decent. But then who do you slot in for him? Siegs is incredibly soft. I'm not opposed to it. Listen, he does look much better this year, and maybe that is a smart play. I thought earlier on when he was looking like a reborn player playing with Kovacevic that maybe he did turn it around. But in the end, I think I'm with you, Woodson. I just don't want guys that mentally and physically weak. I'm firmly now on the wagon of this. While his underlying numbers are still good and we could show all the analytics nerds on the other teams, look how good he is with the charts and graphs, cash him in. I'm with you, Woodson. So I think outside of doing something super drastic, maybe something like that will wake the team up. Ship his ass off, bring back Seamus Casey, and hope that a Casey Kovacevic pairing could work out. I am now in agreement. I'm done. I'm done with the pansy shit. You don't have the fire in you. You don't have that dog in you. You don't have that willingness to win and just go after people's throats. Then you can't be here. I want murderers only. Traveling Devil SSC, one missed shot in the playoffs doesn't send the team to play golf. What about the other losses in that series? Jay Snow, that was so incompetent. How don't you get that game to OT? Yeah, it's painful. Losing in overtime would have been to me nearly as painful as the way we lost. Getting the point would have been nice, but a loss is a loss. They desperately needed a win here. Alex, it's always the bad teams. It's literally a curse. Yeah, it is. Woodson, I'm with you again. Yeah, I just said it a second ago. Bring Casey back up. That's it. I'm firmly on board. First move to send a message, trade Siegenthaler, bring Casey back up, and see what that does. I'm on board with that. And if that doesn't work, and then there's got to be someone else shipped out. It's a little bit of a chess match here. John Fay, call me crazy, but anyone think we should try to convince Taves to come to the Devils? We talked about this in the pre-game show for whoever was in here. I think it'd be a phenomenal idea. However, I just think there's other teams that'd be more attractive to him, including his hometown Winnipeg Jets, who are playing amazing hockey right now. And so if you're a guy like Taves and you basically could pick where you go because you are going to sign for league minimum, which he will, I don't see how he doesn't end up on the Winnipeg Jets. Hometown team, cup contender. It makes all the sense in the world. I was going to make a video about it, but I don't even want to get people's hopes up. I believe the Devils are just such an underdog to land him that I don't even want to get people's hopes up. But I almost made a video about it last night. Alex, we're in a slump right now. Need to regroup and snap out of it. Yeah, I think that's an understatement. We definitely need to snap out of it. BC, 9-game losing streak coming up, and I'm being realistic. BC, that's ridiculous. To predict a 9-game losing streak, this is the most doomer shit I've probably read in the whole chat so far. We're not going to lose 9 games in a row. Keep it up with the Devils. The Cotter goal. Let's talk about the Cotter goal. What a move. What a move to just whoop and then go wide and pop it up. Cotter's got filthy, filthy mitts. And getting back on I'm all over the place. My mind is racing. I think it's time to try Paul Cotter out in Palat's spot. I think. I've seen enough. I like Palat. He is complimentary at times to the big dogs. But with that being said, you know, chances like tonight really show the difference between finishers and not. And that cost us the game, in my opinion. That was the play that you have to bury that in that scenario. And I am now firmly on board with putting Cotter on the top line. Let's see it. I want to see it for a full game. Full game of Cotter with Jack and Bratt. Let's see it. Put Palat on the third line and let's see what they do. If everyone else struggles and we shake it up again. But at this point, I think Cotter has earned it. Give him a spot on that top line because he'll make the most of his chances. He's gonna bury shit like that. It's time to free Paulie. Paulie must be elevated. I want to see Cotter with Jack and Bratt, and we'll see. I don't want to break up peanut butter and jelly yet. The Devils and Keefe kind of teased those lines he was tinkering with in practice one day. We never saw them rolled out in the game. But for now, I would not want to break up peanut butter and jelly. I just want a finisher to play with Bratt and Jack, and I think that could come by way of number 47, Paul Cotter. Bump him up there, and let's see. Richard Zimmer, get him ace. Stick fix, every team goes through a slump. However, Monday is a must-win. I want to sweep the Rangers this season, and I don't think it's happening if we don't win Monday. Gem card collecting. I'm not bailing ace. I love the Devils ride or die. Respect. Why are you running? The Devils have more than earned some patience from the fans. These people are nuts. Why are you running? I mean, just read the comments. You would think we lost 15 in a row. Luke Perry, at John Woodson, I'd be down for it. Britt and Emmy, what's going on? It's a hard stretch. We'll come out of it, and when we do, I feel like it's going to unlock a monster in the boys. I hope you're right. Because right now we got people saying nonsense. We got people on the ledge tonight. Put all the sharp objects away. Remove the shoelaces from your sneakers. And step away from the ledge. Gem card collecting. I missed the 22-23 team. Michael Shane will be fine, but I think I've been making up my mind on some players. Team-wise, we've stopped blocking shots and got away from our D game. G. Piercy, we need a priest to come in and exorcise the ghost of Lindy Ruff that still haunt this team. Michael Russell, let's go, Devs. Been through this before and we can't lose faith. Get after it on the 6th. That's a massive game now. I mean, they all just start to take on a life of their own. And, I mean, wow. A monster one. An absolute monster. That's the late night? Yeah, that's the late night. That is the late night. The Kraken. Ooh, the Kraken. Got to get points there. And then we have 2 days off before the Rangers. Don't want to go into the Ranger game on a 5-game skid. That would be atrocious. Jim Bean, I don't know who's going to do it, but somebody in that locker room needs to step and start laying into people. Yeah, I think so as well. Traveling Devil, remember the 7-game stretch when the dopey people were silent? Silent or just completely absent. It's amazing how that works. The Doomers go into their caves during the good times, and they come out and they pump their chest, you know, coming out like King Kong when the Devils are struggling. It's sad, but it is what it is. Britt and Emmy, at least love to see some fire. They ain't happy about the loss. You've seen Markey. Yeah, I saw the split second they showed it. It looked like, was he yelling at the ref? I don't know who he was yelling at. I wanted to see. It wasn't in frame. He's probably yelling at the ref for being in a horrible position and keeping the puck in there because he knows that's what happened. Jay Ritchie raging so hard. Keep it up with the Devils. I'm staying. Love the Devils my whole life. Same. Jerome. Ace, I was joking during the pregame when I said the season was over, the Devils lost, but goddamn, this was a dreadful loss. It was a dreadful loss. It was dreadful. Alex, at least Nico scored on his birthday. I hope he's sick to his stomach tonight like the rest of the team. I hope they're all sick. Gotta win games like this. Brian J., we need to trade Meyer for, doesn't finish it, but no, we don't need to trade Meyer. John Fay, I'm staying because once a Devils fan, always a Devils fan, win or lose. Gem card, can't jump off the wagon when Marty made me a fan in 2000. Jay Snow, they don't make the playoffs, then you move pieces. I'm not even remotely thinking that. If they don't make the playoffs, then it's time you hit the detonator. I just can't see that happening. I mean, wow. That would be, I'm firmly on record saying this is going to be a playoff team. If they, if they miss the playoffs, it's time to hit the nuke. Brian, refs, Seeks panicked and made a soft pass, bad take. Yes and no. I mean, was it a great pass? No, but you can't deny the fact that the ref blocked it and kept him in there. I mean, everyone's saying not the ref's fault. I mean, the ref was contributory. I don't know how so many people are saying the ref had nothing to do with it. Markstrom was furious, and I think it was towards the refs. Refs are only a problem because we're allowing these games to be close. Yeah, you could say that, but in the end, sometimes you got to win close games. And again, a referee had a direct hand in a play that cost the Devils a game. I'm not saying it's the ref's fault, but they played a huge role. I'm more so down on Palat after this game. But everyone's saying not the ref's fault. Look at the play. I mean, the puck hit the ref. Michael Russell, don't make the playoffs. Come on now, step back from the ledge. I'm right there with you, Michael, in that regard. Luke Price's first round exit as it stands now. Keeping up with the Devils, who can we get for trading Palat, Hamilton, and picks? I think those are tough. Those are kind of tough tasks. Palat makes $6 million. Dougie makes $9 million. There's not going to be a ton of teams lining up for them without massive retention and or sweetening the pot, with picks or prospects or something to incentivize them, to take on these types of contracts. That could be something explored in the offseason. Maybe Palat's a buyout candidate. Who knows? But they got to figure out what they're going to do for this year because it's a painful stretch. Luke, you will not win with this bottom six. I don't think this would be the bottom six going into the playoffs. I expect either Utica guys or guys coming in from a trade. I would be willing to bet a large sum of money that the bottom six you saw today would not be your opening night of the playoffs bottom six. Gem card collecting. I may hate the Devils today, but I still love Ace. Thanks, Gem card. Appreciate that. Fifey Lane 85. If I have to hear Hamilton shoots wide one more time this season. Pedro says, go Sharks. Enjoy it, Pedro, man. It's hard for me to hate on the Sharks. They have former Devils guys. They're a young, exciting team. I always liked Mike Greer. They're a team that I think will be a good team in years from now, Pedro. But damn, bro. Guys really played spoiler for us tonight. Emily, someone cursed us this break. I want to know what went on December 24th, 25th, and 26th. Gem card, we are going to give Carolina home ice advantage round one. Oh, boy. Fifey Lane also feels like losing to the Sharks last year was the turning point to the season. That was a bad one. John Ginkley, what's up? I'm not the conspiracy guy. We're not hitting or skating, but there's clearly an officiating issue. Just not sure if it's us or league-wide. I think it's league-wide. For sure. Jorge, the offense is absurd. We have three of the most overpaid players in Hamilton, Meyer, and Palat. For what they get paid, we should have Rantanen and Brady. Seriously, it's BS. I still like Timo Meyer. Is Meyer overpaid? Sure. Is Dougie slightly overpaid? Yeah, but Dougie still brings a lot of offense too. I don't think he had a good game tonight, obviously. But wow. Gem Card says, let's trade someone. I think it's time, not being a doomer at all. Waldo, any chance we bring back Nemitz? It's possible, but I feel like Seamus Casey might get the call up. If there was a spot to open up on D, I feel like Casey would get the call up before Nemitz. I could be wrong. But I don't think they're going to just call him up out of nowhere. If I had to guess. Rob, what's going on? Old man Rob here. I've been frustrated at games. WTF is up with the officials. Glad Nico got a B-Day goal. They got it out for us, man. The fix is in. The refs hate us. It's crazy. It's a bad stretch right now, and the Devils are down bad. I mean, it is what it is. Luke, I think a trade or benching should happen to shake up the team. No, I agree with that for sure. But like, who do you bench? Who do you trade at this juncture? I hate to say it. I was on the wagon of trading him heading into the season, and then he looked like a new player paired with Kovacevic. But I think the most logical guy to pull the plug on and cash out at a high price would probably be Siegenthaler. Bring Casey up. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if nothing happens. Gem card, bring up Yegorov. 66 saves. Yegorov better than Askarov. Jerome says, has anyone seen Eric Halla? Oh, man. Stick figs. Well, I'm not shaking overall. I'm still 100% confident that we make the playoffs. If we can't shake the streak on Monday, I'll officially be concerned about how far we could make it in the playoffs. Val S., who do we blame for this loss? Palat, refs, Markstrom, top line, Fitzgerald, Keefe, Bettman, who? Markstrom not on my list at all. Number one on my list would be Palat. Number two on my list would be the team as a whole. Number two would be the team as a whole, and then number three would probably be the ref, the one ref that blocked that puck. John Fay talking about Taves again. Taves ain't going to come here, but I'd love to see it. Keep it up, the Devils. Guys, don't forget the players are all professional athletes and the best players in the world. Nicholas, Devils should genuinely be embarrassed. It's far from over, but goddamn, that was a bad loss. Yeah, I agree. Horrible, horrible loss. What's going on, Walt? Hard to play with confidence when you're playing another hockey team and the refs night after night. Devils have been looking like they get in their own heads once things start to go sideways. It does seem like there is a little bit of a mental weakness when shit hits the fan, that they kind of get in their own heads. I don't know, man. Listen, you're playing other NHL teams. Again, even bad teams, they are made up of the best players in the world. And the Sharks got some young skill guys. They're out there like everyone expects us to lose. Who cares? Just free-spirited, let's win this game and play spoiler night after night. And they did it to us tonight. Nicole Lee, that last goal would have never happened if the ref didn't get in the way of clearing the puck twice. This game never should have been as close as it was. Refs in general are becoming an issue for us. Agree, Nicole. Again, people are like, oh, don't blame the refs. I mean, did the refs single-handedly lose the game? No. And should the Devils have, done a better job throughout the first 59 and a half minutes of the game? Absolutely. But with that being said, when a ref prevents a clear in the final 30, 40 seconds of a game, and then it ends up in the back of the net, it's hard not to be pissed off at the refs. How could you not be? Pro Bolt forever. I still have hope. I still have hope too. I'm falling behind here. Let me try to speed up a little bit. Gem Card says trade Palat or Hamilton. It's time. Ryan says Devils party too hard for Christmas and New Year's. Troy Machine went from shutdown hockey to just bleeding odd man rushes and breakaways. That to me is the biggest shock. Is that what happened to the defense that allowed 20 shots or less for 7 straight games and set an NHL record? Where did that defense go? The holiday break came, and then it was like back to just wide open hockey. SST, Askarov is not big game hunting. Markstrom was. I think Fitz was trying to get Saros or Askarov, and Trotz wasn't budging. And then, unfortunately, it all came to a head when Askarov's agent went to the media after we'd already had Markstrom. At that point, I still wanted the Devils to get him. And who knows if Fitz tried. I'd be very curious if he inquired still, because I would have loved to have, a Markey Askarov tandem, with Askarov being the guy to take over for Markey when he's all done. But he ends up going to San Jose. Jason, no, Ace, it's the way they're playing. They can't win any board battles. The forecheck is terrible, and the defense is making horrible pinches over and over. Would it kill them to set up an ozone cycle? I think part of when you're on a losing streak is you just get, happy stick. You just want to throw pucks at the net, which sometimes works out. But, I mean, listen, guys, like I said, when it rains, it pours. And right now, it's absolutely pouring. Absolutely pouring. I'm up to my ankles in the studio right now in water. Woodson, I think they got cocky. Now they're making dumb, risky passes and assuming Markey will bail them out. I mean, maybe, but what, like I said, 7 straight games of 20 shots or less. Where'd they go? Where did they go? Lane hits, dropping mitts. Love that name. Jack and Brad need a finisher on their line desperately. I want to see what Cotter could do. Give Cotter a chance. Rob, the win streak starts Monday. Bet. I hope so. Brian C says the Flyers own you. Very bizarre. Yeah, right. Flyers suck. Val says Siegenthaler is Swiss. They don't fight. I mean, listen, Timo has a little fight in him. He's Swiss. Troy Machine, whole team went soft. Only 12 hits after the second. John Woodson, you could get a feisty $1 million defender that wants to prove himself every year to take his spot. Jorge, Rasmus, Ristolainen, and Gudis are available. I had to decipher. Those are some butcher spelling jobs, but good enough for me to know. I've always liked Gudis. Gudis is a nasty, nasty man. Nasty, nasty man. But I think he makes a good amount of money, too. I wanted Gudis a couple years ago. I was hoping last year that we would somehow get a package of him and Henrique to come on over. He makes $4 million. Gudis is a nasty, nasty mo. Would love a guy like that on our blue line for sure. No excuse for losing to the Sharks. I agree, Raiders. Alexander Antonelli, worst game of the season by far. Also agree. Amagi, I blame these losses for the Rizzler being at Prudential Center to see Risney on ice last night. Like when he showed up at MSG and the Rangers began to tank, the Rizzler has brought doom to us all. Was the Rizzler really at Prudential Center last year? Alan Wagner Jr., is every goalie just having their best games against us snake bitten? No. It's a combination of these guys being good goalies and the Devils just being inefficient and on a slump. Val S. says, Swiss are only good at chocolate and cheese and watches. Oh, I think there's some of them are pretty good at hockey, too. We have a few of them on our team. Kevin G., the team is well on their way of collapsing like the Rags. I don't think so. Stick Figs, I'm not giving up yet on Siegs. I did last year, and he's made a resurgence until recently. I'll give him a few more. BC, I would trade Siegs and Bastion for Gudis straight up. And that's interesting. I don't know if the Ducks would be interested in that, but Luke Perry, third line, was on the ice for all 3 goals today. Nicole, sometimes a fight is needed to get the team's heart back in the game. Sucks the refs screw us no matter what contact we make. Even when our players don't fight back, sometimes lift fighting penalties. Yeah, I just don't. Cotter, my man Paulie was throwing the body. I believe he was robbed of a ton of hits. He's top 5 in the league in hits at the moment, and I feel like they're not giving him the proper amount of hits credited. He was credited with 5 today, I believe. Yeah, 5 hits for Paulie. I feel like he had 3 on one shift alone. That I recall. But, either way, got to start smashing and playing mad. And again, I'd like to see some fights too. Fighting league-wide is super down. Kevin G., trade Siegs. Is anyone paying attention to the absolute bullshit product Hamilton is putting on the ice? Yes, but Dougie brings a much more offensive upside. And also, Kevin, it would be much easier to trade Siegs than Hamilton, obviously. Due to the amount of money he makes, it's not going to be easy to trade Dougie. And I don't think it's his time yet. I know a lot of people are down on Dougie. I still don't think it's his time. Woodson, Markstrom is performing to what you could expect for his age and pay. I agree with that. Jason, no, Hamilton looks shot. I can't watch his soft wristers anymore. Stick Figs, I thought our 3rd and 4th lines were our best lines tonight, and that's probably why we lost. Sheldon Keefe. Yeah, it's an indictment on the top 6. You got to generate more, and you got to finish. Jason says I'd split Jack and Brad up. Maybe we see it. I would still like to see Cotter playing on a line with them before they're split up. John Fay, Cotter, Jack, Brad be a dangerous and money-making line. I'd like to see that. I'm open to trading anyone in the bottom 6 except Cotter. I don't know how many of those guys would even have value on the market, but John Woodson, only kick on Cotter is he doesn't win board battles either. Someone has to do the dirty work on Jack's line. I think he can win board battles. SST, Palat, Dougie Hall, Abashin, McDermott, Laser all need to go. Half the team Fitzgerald assembled. I'd agree with some of those, but not all of them. John, there's nothing to it, but the Zetterlund for Meyer switch is bad optics right now. I disagree with that one, too. People are very down on Timo. It is interesting to me how everyone just piles on. Brendan, this is how we act after 4 games. Imagine if we were Sabres fans. John Woodson, Lazar isn't half bad. He's on the fence for me. I agree with that. LJ Siegs crumbled like a paper cup, scratching my head. Luke and Pesci both were sloppy as hell. Not a good look tonight, but I think they cracked the Kraken. They better crack the Kraken. Rabid monkeypox. What the dickens? Jace, no, that's why Jack needs to be surrounded by bigger guys on his wing. Man, the chat is just... John Smith, the ref blocked 2 clearing passes up the boards. WTF. And yeah, again, I hate to keep pointing at refs, but that is a massive fact that a lot of people are like, don't blame the refs. That's the reality. Blocks the passes, we're stuck in our own zone, and we lose the point. I mean, thirst for war, ref is in the way, but what was up with Siegs not being able to stand up? Yeah, I don't know. He kind of crumpled down there. But still, if the ref is not there, I believe he could get the clear, and we get to overtime with at least a point with a chance to win an overtime or a shootout. That did not happen tonight, and your New Jersey Devils are now on a 4-game slide. Pretty gross. Oh, shit. Pretty disgusting, and obviously wish it was not the case. But, they're going to have to come out flying on Monday against the Kraken. DN, when are we going to beat the Sharks? Hopefully next year. They got us both times this year, which is crazy. Pete, what's going on? Moving plot should be priority. You could probably con someone like Barry Trotz to take him off your hands by throwing Siegs in there with him. See, I mean, maybe. But at this point, I think, Fitz should be working the phones to at least kind of get a sense of what other teams might be interested in some of these guys we might be looking to part with. John Smith, Devils always play down. The Sharks are garbage. Stanley, refs are abysmal again, but it shouldn't have mattered. San Jose is just an awful team. To get no points against them this season is ridiculous. Completely agree with you there. Gamer XD and friends. Ace, I'm not sure if you saw my first comment because I wasn't paying attention since I dropped my AirPod, but I wasn't able to watch the game. So can I have a summary of some sort for this game? The summary is the Devils played a sloppy game. They traded chances with the Sharks, and it didn't work out, and they lost. That would be my most easy, in a nutshell, summary of the game. Is it was a sloppy game, exchanged chances, and they lost. Terrible. Deflating loss. Raymond, fellas, I'm not sure there's a team out there that can beat this team in 7 games. Stay frosty, my friends. Okay. Jace, no, I'm sick of Dougie. When you get no offense from him, he's just a negative. Paulie Walnuts, you couldn't get a bucket of used practice pucks for Palat. Michael Shane, all right, hear me out. Nemitz, Siegenthaler, oh my God. Oh, here we go with the insanity. I'll entertain it. It's that kind of night. Nemitz, Siegenthaler, Mercer, Palat, 3rd rounder for Brady. We'd be able to afford him then. Nemitz, Siegenthaler, Mercer, Palat, 3rd rounder. I mean, that Ottawa's not going to entertain that now. If they were a shit team, they may have. And because the Palat contract is so bad, I think you might have to throw something else in there. But, Nemitz, Siegenthaler, Mercer, you might be on your way to a package. But I just don't see it. Ottawa's right there, and so I think it's, at least another year away before they go down that road. John Woodson, Hamilton has always been known to be lazy and slow. He's paid for offense, which he's beginning to suck at too in his older age. SST, get rid of Siegenthaler while he has value. Bring Nemitz up. Let the boy get experience in the NHL. The season won't lead to anything big anyway. SST, shut the up. Shut up. We just got to get into the playoffs, man. I'm just so tired of you being negative and being like, I told you so. Blah, blah, blah. Clown stuff. Are you a Devils fan or not? Talking about how he would have won a cup if you were the GM. You're delusional. Jay Snow, last year the Cali trip was the nail in the coffin. John Woodson, I don't like Meyer for 8.8, but Jack is probably underpaid, so it evens out. But if Muskie works out, we lost that trade bad. Who the hell's Muskie? Muhammadulin, the defenseman. Casey is ours for a long time. Casey will be better than Luke, I'm telling you. I mean, maybe, but Luke has made some serious strides this season defensively. Colby, the Devils are going to take all their anger out on the Kraken next. I certainly hope so. Pete, Dougie Hamilton is the Rudy Gobert of the NHL, big for no reason. Switch leagues to the WPHL. Problem solved. Walt, officiating is awful league-wide. Did you see the Avs goalie getting injured, laying down in the net, in pain, no whistle the whole time they get scored on? Another obvious play that got missed somehow. Yeah, that was former New Jersey Devil Scott Wedgwood. I think someone got kind of bumped into him, but it seemed like the guy didn't even try to stop. Steamrolled him. He's laying down in the net, and they let the play go on. Buffalo scored. And then Mac Black came in relief for Wedgwood, who was injured. The Avalanche have a miraculous comeback, and Mac Black gets another win for the Avs in overtime. John Woodson, the easiest 4-1 road trip ever. They might go 1-4. John Smith, hey, the Devils are not the Rangers. Get serious. They are 11 points ahead of the second place wild card team. Yeah. Luke, terrible stretch of hockey. Worst part is coming off that in Carolina. You wanted to see them come out like gangbusters instead of finding ways to lose. Ace, the PTSD is almost on overload. They're gonna be fine. We just gotta beat the Kraken, man. Rabid monkeypox. I've lost all hope. I'm off to cry in the shower. Insane Pollock. Midseason slumps happen, and the puck luck is not with us right now. Yeah, I'd say. Neither is any sort of luck with officiating whatsoever. Paulie Walnuts. It's a shame that the Devils' New Year resolution is to stop winning. Yeah, so you're talking about now what what's the date of that game? The 6th. Yeah, hopefully we get a win on January 6th to get in the win column. That would be nice. Insane Pollock. Ace, if you don't want to hear from SST and Woodson tonight, there is a way. Woodson occasionally makes some good points. SST is just straight negativity. Luke, defense has been bad over the stretch. The last goal, watching Siegenthaler fall down, I knew SJ was scoring. Bottom six hasn't scored in almost 2 months, and Marks has to make that save. Just killer. Yeah, I agree there. Bad goal given up by Markstrom for sure. Yo, Holmes. Devils played like cheeks today. They deserve to lose. One lone power play goal is garbage. At least Nico got a B-Day goal. Well, they only had 2. They only had 2 power plays, so, I mean, going 1 for 2. John Woodson, Tatar bringing down the 4th line. Hall the 3rd, Meyer the 2nd, and Palat the 1st. One player can kill a line. Gudis is a beast and a rockhead. Stanley says, hit the like button. Hit it for your boy. We're down bad. Let me get a like at least. Paulie Walnuts, Ace, God bless you for dealing with all of us downers. Everyone on this chat should show you some love and hit the like. I'd appreciate that. Hit a like for just taking bullets from the doomers. John Woodson, I tried to tell him they'd lose 4 before they would win 4. I hate you. Siegs is +9 and Kova is +15. Why would anyone question their value? I don't think anyone questioned Kovacevic's value, but I think a lot of people are now kind of reverting on Siegenthaler, and unfortunately, I might be one of them too. It's just disheartening to see him get tossed like that and just have no emotion. No emotion. How are you a player in the NHL, man? Get mad. Show emotion. Show some fire. To just get tossed like salad and just get up like nothing happened is crazy. Luke Perry, Hughes needs a Zubris type on his line with Brett. Who's on the market for that type of player? Oof. You might be onto something there, Luke. Zubris was a monster. Monster on the wall. A monster man you couldn't get the puck from. Possession beast. I remember, I forget, who was the third guy on the line? It was Zuby, Yager, and I can't remember who the third guy was. They had some dominant cycle sessions. Another big body with Yager and another guy that's a bull to knock off the puck. Zubris and Yager, that was a fun line to watch. On some terrible Devils teams as well. Amagi, Timo gets hate everywhere. Saw people demanding trades on Facebook. Not surprising. Unhinged Devs fan, slumps happen. I mean, even if you watch a 2002 Heaven video, slumps happen. It's not the end. Need to turn it around. Much dooming in the pregame live. This is a shameful loss. Long season. There's a lot of dooming here right now. Unhinged. The pregame was just an appetizer. We're in the main event right now. We are in the absolute main event smorgasbord buffet of dooming. This is an unprecedented level of dooming on the season, and I get it. It's a 4-game, losing streak with some bad teams sprinkled in there. And Doomer's going to doom. Doomer's absolutely going to doom, and they're dooming hard right now. Dooming super hard. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Jay Snow, if they miss playoffs, I would move a big piece. I don't even want to. I just can't see it. That would be the epic collapse of the century. And if they miss the playoffs, I'm then firmly hitting the nuke button and detonating it and blowing up everything at that point. I mean, missing the playoffs is just so unacceptable. I just can't see it. Brendan plays. It's just the board battles, forechecking, and panic about scoring and breaking the streak. It could be. John Woodson, put turnovers, missed nets, and 6 shutouts on the beanie. What? Oh. Stanley, Homeboy will be bringing us an interview with Jamie Langenbrunner. 75% of you haven't hit the like button. Shame. But yeah, please hit the like and reference Stanley's referencing there. I finally got the editing done. I've mentioned this, I think, at least briefly to some of you on some of the lives. But I had a chance to sit down with Devils legend, Jamie Langenbrunner, for a sit-down interview. The highlight of my time with this channel. I'll put the link in the description. It's premiering on January 10th. I just put the link in the description. January 10th, that comes out the day after the Devils-Rangers game. Really big thrill for me to do that. Hopefully, I'm bringing a lot more of interviews with guys like that in the future. But appreciate that, Stanley. Yeah, please hit the like. I don't know. John Smith, look at the Rangers from the best to the toilet. Triple D, I haven't been able to watch the past couple of games and we lose. I'm going to the Devils versus Kraken game. We'll win. I hope you're right, Triple D. That would be phenomenal. Would love for you to be a good luck charm and break this losing streak because they need something. Luke, get a third line center and a fourth line center. I've been saying it since last year. Hallett and Lazar better on the wing. Dump Tatar to make the cap work. That's not giving you a lot of cap relief. And, you probably could get more cap relief with dumping some other guys. But we're going to see. We'll see. How long does Fitz stand pat and wait to see how it plays out? My buddy just sent me a video here. Let's see. Oh, man, Markey two-hand chopped the glass. And then chopped the other. Yeah, wow. Yeah, Markey was whacking a stick on everything on the way out of the game. One shot on the glass. Let's see if I could show this on here. He chops the glass. It's hard to get this in focus. Chops the glass, and then he chops the overpass on the way out. Glass chop. Stick didn't break. Bang! Hits the metal there. And then he goes one more on the top. Boop. Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to break it, but if he was, he failed. Reminds me of one of Marty's meltdowns. I think it was in the 2009 playoffs against Carolina. He two-handed one on the way out. I think when we lost in the closing seconds. It was either the closing seconds or overtime. I can't remember. Marty two-handed it for sure. Yo, Holmes, the 1995 NJ was stinky until right before the playoffs. Kill for my honor. We can lose 4 in a row in the blink of an eye, but to win 4 in a row takes a few years. It might be. Oh, yeah, Emily just said, did you see Marky bang his stick? Yeah, that's what I just tried to show on my phone. I'm a little behind here. John Smith says, Brady would be poison to this team's locker room. Stop the panic insanity. That I disagree with. I don't think he would be. But it's not going to happen. So I'm over the pipe dream of Brady coming to New Jersey. Rabid monkeypox, we should trade for the San Jose Sharks mascot. He's athletic, literally rappelling to the ice from the rafters. Put Cotter at center. Wouldn't be opposed to that. Amagi, Devils could be undefeated, and SST would be saying they suck with a mediocre goal differential for that season. 4 cups to be exact, he said in the pregame live. Ritter Engine. 4 L's in a row hurts, but this L to the Sharks is a cherry on top. Yes, it is. Fentanyl, Floyd. Unfortunately, this core group will ultimately be viewed as underachievers. I hope you're wrong. Oh, Woodson, are you talking about the guy they drafted with the pick? I mean, that's a stretch and a half, dude. If we trade someone a pick, then you're going to use the exact guy they drafted with the pick. I mean, that's Gumby shit. You're really stretching there, in my opinion. Gentlemen, at Woodson, I agree about Dougie. Most of his points are merchant type. No seam passes or anything impressive. Just easy passes any of us can do, then someone good scores. I don't know. I think you're underselling him a little bit. I mean, come on. Everybody seems to forget how bad the team struggled when Dougie went down last season. Brandon, Jack had flashes of carrying the team, but back to trying to do it all himself, and no one is that good. He needs to go back to being the distraction, allowing others to capitalize. Luke, officiating has been worse I've seen in 38 years of watching hockey. Salvador, just got back from the game. Not sure what commentary said, but the D looked brutal. Caught deep in the ozone often. Bad turnover, sloppy breakout. Yeah, sloppy game. We traded chances, and we came out on the short end of it tonight. Noah, I'm not worried in the slightest. Cotter goal is gross. Bring back the Neanderthal hockey mindset. Yeah, I'd like to see that. It just seems like some nights they forget that, playing the punishing game got them some results earlier on in the season. Michael Brands, we should have known that as soon as we started playing well at home, we'd fall apart on the road. SST, I was delusional from the 3rd game last season. How did it turn out? It turned out you were all delusional, not me. Who hopes for the Devils to be bad so they could say they're right? Only a psychopath. Gentlemen, by the way, I was being realistic about Doug. He doesn't wrap me into the doomer category. I'm not going to call you a doomer. Doomers are people like SST that just come with just series of negativities. Big Zubers fan here. SST says something about Ponikarovsky. John Woodson, Zajac was so good along the boards of the cycle game. Pony was a hammer. James Israel, what move can the Devils make with our cap space? Only chance that someone would take Palat's contract. We all gave Luke his flowers. Luke, Zajac and Green had solid careers on mostly terrible teams. John Smith, Yager had tree trunks for legs, 100 daily squats, and he's still playing in his 50s. Yager is an animal. That guy should, when he passes, he should donate his body to science so they could figure out what it was that I think it's just probably good genetics combined with a will and desire to win, I'd imagine, is what kept Yager so damn good. And again, like you referred to, you said 100 squats. I think it was way more than that. But there was reports of him getting, keys to training facilities from trainers so that he could go and train on his own. When the facility was closed, I think I read stories or heard stories of him skating around for an hour or so in rinks after games with like a weight vest on. I mean, the guy's a throwback. They don't make them like Jaromir Jagr anymore. Jason, the Devils don't know what a cycle is. I'm sick of watching them. They just try to play rush hockey again. You can't win like that. Jeff, what's up? Doom Squad. Michael Shane Zuby was the last Devil to score a natural Texas hat trick against Tampa, I believe. John Fay, we have until trade deadline to see if Fitz makes any moves. The question is, will he? I think he definitely does something. But when and what it is, I think, remains to be seen. Peter Martin, Ace, got to stop at the pregame lives. Why? Am I a jinx? Am I jinxing it? I haven't done it every game. Collect records. I'm not worried or that down on Siegs, but if he has value and we can clear some cap space for a finisher by moving him, I'm rolling those dice. Casey is ready to rock, in my opinion. I agree with you there, collect records. He'd free up some cap space, free up a spot for Casey or Nemitz potentially, but I think it would be Casey. I think that's, a play I would probably risk. I would take that as well. Luke says, hit the like, you jabrones. Thank you. Another Luke Perry, did you ask him about his beef with Jacques Lemaire? So I didn't get to that point. So here, the story with Jamie is I think we spoke for about 70 minutes, and I had a shitload of questions to ask him. I mean, I could talk to these guys for days on end, and unfortunately, time was up well before I got to the Lemaire portion of the questions that I had prepared. So I'm hoping to do a part 2 with him, which that stuff would be covered in there. And so unfortunately, in this first part of the interview, I did not get to. I'm hoping to get to talk to him again, but I did not. I did not in this part. John Smith, remember when Niedermeyer used to play left wing for some games? How about the Hughes bros on the same line? Let's let Luke get comfortable doing what Keith wants of him on defense, his natural position. Tom A., we are cap strapped. Can't do ish, but wait for Gritsuk. A lot of people hinging a lot of hopes on Gritsuk. I hope he pans out, but I'm always skeptical about KHL guys for a variety of reasons. Salvatore, Marky was livid skating off the ice. He should get one free slap on everyone. Yeah, he had the 3-stick hits there. What's going on, Maria? Feels sick, painful to watch. Me thinks boys are on strike or on vacation. Refs seem too embedded. Maybe time to slash and burn. Yeah, Marky went ballistic. Can't blame him. He looked like he lost his mind. Fentanyl Floyd, good. At least someone is showing emotion for sure. Mark, 2 losses end of year and 2 losses at the beginning of the year. Now it's time to turn around. Let's go Devils. John Woodson, cash strapped, and the only thing to do is wait out the contracts to finish. Wait out the contracts to finish or give up prospects to unload ban contracts. No win either way. Salvatore Dougie looks like he's refusing to shoot. I think he's been a little more hesitant to shoot all year. He has ripped some off, especially on the power play, but I would like to see him send it towards net more. I feel like on the power plays today, Jack was just shooting into bodies and just taking bad shots for the sake of shooting. And I guess, sometimes that pans out, but I would have liked to see a little more patience to try to create some better scoring opportunities. It is what it is. Paulie Walnuts, looking forward to seeing your interview with Jamie Langenbrunner. Remind us of the good old days. Sometimes nights like tonight, the good old days is what gets me through. I just hope they snap out of this against the Kraken, man. Luke, Hall has no points in 6 weeks. Jeter Toker, Dougie won't be the same player after that injury. I hope you're wrong, but you may not be. Jay Snow, it does worry me. Can this core make it through 4 rounds? Hopefully we find out. We'd have to get to a 4th round to know. So a cup final appearance, you don't even know. If we made it to the cup finals, I couldn't even fathom what I'd be doing. Salvatore, call up Nemo and sit Dougie. Call up literally anyone and sit Halla. John Smith, Dougie does much more than score goals. He has a great stick and is matched up with the opposition's best lines. Jay Snow, Ace, what the hell has that Dylan been doing pinching in so far? Amagi, Gumby shit is definitely a reference 95% of this chat did not understand. Are you part of that 95%, Amagi? Yeah, I'm an old man. I make old man references. Oh, super chat. Fentanyl Floyd, thank you, sir. $4 for our 4-game losing streak. If I wasn't laughing, I'd be crying. I mean, my God. But thank you, Fentanyl Floyd. Appreciate that. Terrible. John Woodson, Dougie has offense vision similar to Jack, but with Big Mac speed and a Bratter wrister. He's had some snipers though. Woodson, I forget what game. He had a couple that he sniped off a wrister that had some velocity to it. It seems like they're few and far between, but wow. Big Max speed. Woodson, Dougie's defense relies solely on his long reach. Otherwise, he sucks. Jay Snow, Yager should give his body to Jack. At some point, the organization has to tell Jack, you need to get into the gym. Yager's leg is bigger than Jack. John, Yager used to run the stairs on all levels at CAA after morning skate when they were here to play the Devils. It's crazy. There's so many stories of Yager just doing crazy fitness things. I love Yager. I freaked out when we got him on the Devils. He was one of my favorite non-Devils in the league when I was a kid, when he had the mullet on the Penguins and was dominating with Yager. And it was fun to see him as a Devil. SST, you can make this team better with 6 simple moves. Move to Tar Halla and Dermis and their 6 mil combined and bring 3 new players. That's not that easy to do. You make it like, oh yeah, just trade them. Like it's just, you just press a button and they're traded. Max, Ace, I think Keefe needs to pull the reins on the team. Trying to play irresponsible, rough system hockey, get them back into shape. Just got to get back to our game. Clear the defense first is slipping. Yeah, I agree. Where is the team that held 7 opponents in a row to 20 shots or less? What the hell? What happened on December 24th, 25th, and 26th? What went on with this New Jersey Devils team? Max, Devils should knock Hall out, strap a parachute to his back, push him out over canvas on the... You guys are horrible. Horrible. John Woodson, I'd put Luke in Utica. Why mess with the number 2 power play? Even though Dougie still sucks. What? Luke is not going to Utica. What kind of crazy stuff is this? Amagi, I'm in the 5%. Ha, my older brother loved Gumby. I caught like the tail end of it. Okay. Yeah, I guess Gumby's pretty old, huh? Gumby is pretty old. Eric, when is the trade deadline? I believe it is March 7th. I want to say the trade deadline is. So you're talking about, we're basically 2 months away from trade deadline. March is deadline. Richard Tompkins, I really thought tonight they would bounce back. Unfortunately, it felt like our team was just turning over pucks, etc. John Smith, peace out. The Wild is up 1 on the Canes. Good job. Good night. Take care, John Smith. Fentanyl Floyd, no one is going to want Tatar. You're probably right. Jay Snow, guys just aren't built the way they used to be. I agree there. There used to be men, and now it's a game with a lot of boys in it, but it is what it is. SST, if he misses the feet by 10, he doesn't have bomb shot. Nicholas, it really was an embarrassing loss, no matter how you look at it. I agree there, too. Jay Snow says, Ace, I told you Halla sucks. I mean, what do you guys want? What do you want me to do? Luke, have a good weekend, gentlemen. Let's go Devils. Take care, Luke. SST, the bomb that misses the net by 10 feet is a bad bomb. I finally caught up. Guys, the dooming is at an all-time level. I'm in pain right now. I'm in pain. This game was brutal, and you guys are brutal. We're going to see what happens with Fitz, if he makes any moves. Jeff, tell that to Fulton from Mighty Ducks, 1 out of 5. Richard, we want you to go make the call to Fitz. Yeah, let me just call Fitz and tell him he sucks, the whole team sucks, and trade everybody. I'm right on that. And then we'll get the results we want. If only it was as easy as what you guys do, make the trades in your little NHL video games. Max, Ace, was DeSimone for waivers intent to send to AHL? I'd imagine so. Or if he gets claimed, I'm sure the Devils don't really care either. I mean, it is what it is. Luke Perry, we're all in pain. Stick Figs, Ace, I want us to tell you, I can't even read anymore, guys. My brain is shot. Ace, I want you to tell us how to feel so we can feel the opposite. This is a brutal one. A four game skid with this team is not, what any of us were hoping for. John Woodson, this is the last year. This is last year all over again, except this time we can't blame the injuries. To say it's last year all over again, I mean, come on. Richard Tompkins, thanks. That's why we like you. Gamer XD, I'm obviously upset, but I'm not being a doomer like the other people are. Well, that's good. John, what happened with that high sticking call against Dylan that was reversed? I don't even know. It all happened so quick. Is that the one? No, I think that was or maybe that was a different one. There was the one where they're on the wall and Mercer got his stick up and high sticked Cotter in the face. In real time, it looked like it may have been a duck stick, but it was really Mercer's. Paul Pass, thinking Mercer is a scapegoat for us to make any moves. If you can use Mercer as bait to get a top 6 winger to play with Jack and Brat, Nason and Plot shouldn't be top 6 for this long. I don't mind Nason being there. I think the bigger issue is Palat. And ideally, if you had a deep enough forward group that, Nason would be a great third liner, but you can't argue with the production. And when he gets in front of the net, man, he's magic down there. I don't mind him being on the second line. Stick Figs, Fitz, I have 5.28 thousand angry subscribers. There needs to be some changes, but oh boy. Jeff, I'm going to play NHL 25 and pretend this L didn't happen. SST, where do I apply for the Devils GM job? That's a good one. John Fay, SST, you as the GM, God help us all, no offense. Amagi, yeah, I won 14 on a dollar bet because I made a joke bet. Nico goal scorer and Sharks win. It was supposed to be a joke. See, you're the jinx. John Woodson says Fitz is on Indeed right now. Kevin G, more booze, please. Eric, no need for the doomsday talk. The boys need to pull their heads out of their ass. Let's go Devils. Jay Snow, we're playing great, leading right into playing the Rangers. Richard Tompkins says it was actually not Mercer's stick. He used to see him as a shark stick. I got to see a close replay. I thought it was Mercer for sure. I thought on the replay they showed it was Mercer. Max, because the refs have it out for us, it's ridiculous. Don't get me started on the ref not moving after being hit not once but twice, and it looked like the ref stepped on Sieg's stick. I do that shit all the time, Amagi. I'm either happy with the Devils win or I'm making money. You guys are terrible for putting these bets in. Marty, your services are appreciated, but you need to step aside. If we're to move forward, I have your new executive vice president of hockey operations, SST. John Fay, pretty sure Ace would be a better GM. I don't know about all that. But maybe better than SST. I don't know. He would probably be trading guys after every game. The Rangers' third line is actually really good. I'd love to have Coyle. Troy Machine, it wasn't Mercer. Danner slow mode on the break and said it wasn't Mercer's stick. Interesting. Luke Perry, Jay Snow is giving up on the playoffs. Jay Snow says, I didn't say I'm giving up on the playoffs. Amagi, put SST in net and retain his $20 salary. I said I would want Coyle. John, veteran leadership is needed to pull us out of the slump. Who's that going to be? I would like to know. It's probably going to be guys you wouldn't expect, like maybe Markstrom, Brendan Dillon, etc. I wish I had the answers. Stefan Nason, he's been around the block now, been on some deep teams. Luke Perry, at Jay Snow, you said this thing is starting to look like last year. Collect records. It would be kind of funny to see Jack on the roids. Dudes in my high school did back late in the 80s. He'd be built like an Avenger driving an IROC by the deadline. Oh, man, collect records. I remember the IROC Z. That was like the Juice Head special. The IROC Z. Go Boro. If it comes to a top 6 new guy. Wait, what? If it comes to it, a top 6 of new. Oh, okay. If it comes to it, a top 6 of a new guy, Hughes, Bratt, Meyer, Hischier, and Nason long term. How you feel about it if it comes to it? I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that at all. I don't mind Nason in the top 6. I do mind Palat in the top 6. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I don't think a top 6 guy is coming this season, though. I just don't see how it happens without making some sort of blockbuster type trade. Jason, Salvatore, wild idea, but if Taves does work himself back into NHL shape, should Fitzy take a chance on him being a 3C? I talked about this multiple times now today. Absolutely. However, I just don't want to get people excited about it by talking about it because tons of teams are going to be trying to get Taves, and I think it would be, a massive favorite to land him would be his hometown Winnipeg Jets, who, it's his hometown team, and they're an awesome team that looks like a real cup contender. And so I don't see how anyone wouldn't, or how he wouldn't end up there. Stick Figs, look, Ottawa. Siegenthaler has been around the block. He's a hardened vet. Brady is still young. Let us deal with the molding process while you get a grizzled veteran of the NHL. Now, all the Brady stuff is dead for me. I said that the Senators would have to be horrible and fall out of it entirely. And as it stands right now, they're in the second wild card spot. They're never going to fold it up. Their fan base would riot. I think they would riot even if they were fully out of it. But with them right in that wild card spot, no chance. When I hear IROC-Z, I think of teenage dirtbag. Kill for my honor. Nico turning 26 is crazy. Time flies. And I say that all the time. Cores age very quickly. And before you know it, you're like, what happened? What happened to their career? Why didn't we go on a run with these guys? And before you know it, Nico's going to be 30. It's just part of it. It's life. The years fly by. Got to make moves and win now when you have a core in their prime. Max, let's face it, we need to trade our number one prospect. His name, future considerations. What a night. What a night. John Woodson, Allmark made the Sens relevant. Blame him for Brady staying. Yeah, I mean, they basically gambled on Allmark and it paid off. I wasn't sure if it was gonna. But so far he's panned out for them. You know? They hitched all their hopes to Allmark. They had no other move to make. It was a desperation play and it worked. Keeping up with the Devils, guys. I'm sorry, I don't think Taves is coming to New Jersey. He's going to the Jets. I just said that. I think that's definitely where he's going to go. Stick Figs, you just need to trust me and my salesmanship ace. I bet I could have smooth talked my way into Brady for Brendan Smith in a six-pack. John Fay, Chicago, Winnipeg Devils, Colorado are my four final teams that are in the battle for Taves, in my opinion. No chance he goes to Chicago. Zero. Winnipeg and Colorado seem to be the front runners. Devils, I could see it maybe, but it just seems like to me Winnipeg would be such an overwhelming favorite. I don't know how you top them as a destination. Fentanyl Floyd, Fitzgerald can't drag his feet for depth scoring like last season with the goalie situation. I mean, the depth scoring needs to be better, but again, at what point do we not say the top six is massively underperforming? You know, once you start pointing the finger at the bottom six, to me, that already means, you know, the top six isn't getting it done. Paul Pass, I'll start worrying when the team drops down to a wild card spot. They will figure it out. John Woodson, we don't have any help coming this season. Hold on to the damn puck or go home. Man, I thought this was going to be a celebration. I really thought this was going to be a celebration, and it's anything but. It's become anything but. SST, will I be called the greatest hockey mind if Devils won't make the playoffs? No, we'll call you a negative person who cursed the team. They're making the playoffs, though, so. Fifey Lane 85, you think we can get to Foley back? No. He makes way too much money? Absolutely not. Go Boro, SST, are you sure you're not a Rangers fan? Sometimes I wonder the same thing. Are you sure you're not a Rangers fan? He's really a Devils fan, just the most negative one I've ever encountered. Negativity. What else do we got here? All your fault. John Fay, go Boro. At this rate, only God knows what he is or who he is a fan of. Luke Perry says SST put some money on it. He probably already did. He probably bet the Devils to miss the playoffs multiple times throughout the season. David, we're losing second in the Metro at this one. We're already in third in the Metro based on points percentage. I can't look at the total points. We've played 3 or 4 more games than a lot of other teams. And so when you look at those standings, filter it by the points percentage. That'll give you the real story. Straight up points isn't an indicator of where we truly stand because we've played so many more games. Gentlemen, I'll entertain Zetterlund somehow. John Woodson, I like the wild card draw better anyways. Go Boro, it seems like they and others only seem happy when the Devils are being smashed. That is true. Max, if we lose on Monday, I don't want it to be a ref thing, not an effort thing. They need to beat us clean. We need the boys back playing sound, smothering defense, transitioning to great offense, hopefully. We need a turnaround. Max has confidence. All right, guys. I'm shot. I'm physically, mentally, and emotionally drained. Your New Jersey Devils. Your New Jersey Devils are on a 4-game losing streak. They lose a absolutely painful one to the Sharks. I am sick to my stomach. Wrapping up here. Let's see. You guys got a couple more things. Stick figs. Let's bet. If the Devils make the playoffs, the party gets moved from the Devils mask vault to SST's backyard. Gentleman says, night, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Take care. John, Ace, hypothetical, the Devils franchise is removed from NHL. Where are you taking your fandom or give up the game? Are you talking about if they moved? If they moved or if they just somehow disappeared? That's a weird question. Jeff, good on you for holding space for us all this long. Ace, oh, a brutal day. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Brutal, man. Wading through the comments of negativity is painful. Painful. David, that last goal was a dagger, but on to the next one. Yeah, we've been saying that for a while. Jeter Toker with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Good stream, Ace. We suffer together. And suffer we have been. I mean, wow. It's brutal. I feel very low and in the dumps right now. It's unfortunate. I do think they are still a good team and they will snap out of it. These little bumps in the road happen, but it's a bigger bump than I anticipated or really wanted to have to overcome. But thank you, Jeter Toker. Very much appreciated. Gentlemen, by the way, before the Devils game, I watched the Sirens play. I definitely say check it out, the PWHL, if you haven't. Yeah, I'll check it out. Is it on TV? Stick figs, these lost libations hurt. They really do. I want Victory Vodka back. Go Boro, but remember, this is the same group of guys that whacked the current Stanley Cup champs, so we can do it once we turn the stuff around. I agree. Beating the Panthers twice on their home ice is nothing to sneeze at. The Victory Vodka is starting to get dusty. Yes, it is. They say Fitz was in San Jose scouting their game. I read that. SST, I'd super chat, but I pay child support to my 4 children. Oh, man. John Woodson, how do you lose to the worst team in the league with rest? You find that you're the New Jersey Devils. Amagi, PWHL is amazing in person, superb energy. Keep it up with the Devils. We triumph together and we struggle together. Gentlemen, every game is free on YouTube and they archive all the games so you could rewatch or watch if you miss. Max, rather have this now than in March, April, like Washington and Carolina will do. I mean, hopefully we don't see this ever again once they get through this. Paulie Walnuts, it's not the way you start off the year. It's how you finish. Better days are ahead. I certainly hope so. John, Florida went through a losing streak during their cup year. Keep the faith. Most teams do. Nobody is good all year long. It's just not a thing. Nobody is good, without some sort of little hiccup along the way. With that being said, 4 games is much more of a hiccup than I bargained for, and I think that more than a lot of us were ready for. But it is what it is. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go look for a great meal to comfort me in these trying times. I think I'm in the mood for like a burger or something. I don't know. But all right, guys, it's been fun. Let me see what else. All the good teams have at least a 4-game win streak. We were winning 3 out of 4 for a while. I'll sign up for that any day. PWHL is like a breath of fresh air, like finding a new band you like or something. Really good production on and off the ice. All right, that's it. 4-game losing streak. We lose a heartbreaker. I'm depressed. I'm going to go stuff my face. I got a bunch of stuff in the works. The Jamie Langenbrenner interview is airing next week on the 10th, a little premiere there. And thank you all for coming out, especially to those of you that are not extreme doomers. And I'll be back soon. Very upset, and I'm going to go stuff my face. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.